Young Thug is scheduled to appear in court today in Georgia on related charges. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was one of 28 people named in an indictment in that state.
The YSL trial is now returned to court as it was paused after a report of Young Thug is taken ill and was transported to the hospital on Thursday. His attorney said in court the rapper was being evaluated and that he had no idea what his condition is currently. Now, thankfully, Thug has better chances at being released now from his trial, as we have finally gotten an answer on why certain YSL members snitched on Young Thug. The famous YSL snitch, being Lil Woody, will be the reason that Young Thug will be released shortly. After reports read, Brian Steele says Lil Woody was told he would get 25 years in federal prison in a different case if he didn't cooperate against Young Thug, aka Snitch. The state refuses to give anything to the defense concerning the federal agent that went after Lil Woody with this. Brian Steele wants to put her on the stand to show the jury that Woody was told to lie about Jeffrey Williams.
Specifically is on the recording, KC, that he will get, that she spoke with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he is facing, if he does not cooperate against Mr. Williams, he is facing 25 years at a minimum charges in federal court, and there's no parole. I do not have one document, not one note or memoranda provided in discovery concerning ATF agent Cunningham.
As in the original report of Lil Woody snitching against Young Thug, it would be revealed several months ago that truth teller YSL Woody cooperated with the police for 3 hours and solved over 50 crimes, telling on Young Thug, YFN Lucci, and others. As when it was originally announced in court that Lil Woody turned state, Young Thug reacted like this inside of the courtroom. Now, this is huge for Young Thug, as YSL members were allegedly tricked into snitching on Young Thug. If this is found to be true, all of the evidence provided by the snitches will no longer be usable against Young Thug. As Young Thug's team is aware of this, YSL members began acting very strange inside of court, hoping for a delay, and it's been working, as a delay for Young Thug would give his lawyers time to create a bond hearing, hopefully for his release. As the first day back on the YSL RICO trial, the courtroom was all sent home after several altercations rised inside and outside of the courtroom. However, before being sent home early, this is where things got a little concerning. A new charge would be added to Young Thug's list, as new evidence reveals that Young Thug and the YSL rap group were doing rituals with goats. As a lawyer would go on to explain,
but in this case, Hassan says he's unclear what specifically a goat could represent.
The theory behind animals is you're draining their energy, their power, and to use for mystical purposes, and obviously interviewing former members who were present who could explain the context and what if any ceremony was taking place. Then you have some illumination possibly on it.
He also said animal may be illegal in some areas and not protected under religious freedoms.
As it just so happens where Young Thug lives, it's one of the states where it is illegal to do the actions that he was doing with said goats. This means that more charges will be going against Young Thug, minimizing his chances at bond, as it is very clear that Young Thug is being targeted for anything possible to keep him inside of jail. This was even said during the first court hearing.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
However, things would get even stranger. To understand this further, we now need to dive deep into a man named YSL Polo, where we would learn, and I quote, update, YSL Polo had been dropped from the YSL RICO case, as this is the exact same man that was acting like this when the YSL trial finally resumed a few days ago.
I'll deal with that accordingly, but your client, I notice, has been doing the same behavior, and I believe Judge Adams inquired into it as well. So I don't believe that he may be doing just for the purposes of just drawing attention to himself. But of course, sir, as you are well aware, I'm duty bound to consider whatever it is you want to tell me. But your client's nodded in affirmance. He just has some extra movements that the court entirety of this particular proceeding. So you haven't said anything up to this point in time, so I'm going to assume that that's something that you and he are working through.
As fans would go on to investigate all of the YSL members that are currently in jail, allegedly Polo, the man acting strange, was in the exact same cell block as another man named Khalif Adams, who is another YSL member that was caught trying to slip Young Thug something during a court hearing. Khalif Adams is a part of the case where it reads, "My colleague Mark just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant Khalif Adams of conduring a hand-to-hand deal inside a court." As it continues, prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adam walking over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney. He then drops narcotics in his hand. A deputy confronts Young Thug and he turns the item over to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. According to investigators, Adams was then taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crime within the courtroom, as then an attorney for Young Thug would respond to these allegations that Young Thug was involved in this deal.
The reality is Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants on his way to the restroom attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly...
Did not know, and we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
As if things weren't strange enough, this week, Young Thug's father would also go on to do an interview, stating the following about Gunna.
Courtney said, "How do you feel about Gunna?"
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler.
Okay.
Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.
But according to rappers, what Gunna did completely ruined Young Thug's life. As even mentioned by Tekashi 6ix9ine, during a Clubhouse call with Wack 100, he would explain the situation Thug is in because of Gunna's plea deal.
So me pleading guilty is only making it worse for my man. I'm saying I was there. Yes, I did it. I plead guilty. I am guilty. I am guilty. Anything you said in that courtroom is going to be used against your man, my man. That is over.
Then even a week after that call, he would then meet up with DJ Akademiks to share even more about Gunna snitching.
He just implicated YSL being, so now home, right?
all the people who's locked up, like Jeffrey, like Young Thug, now he can't go with that defense. He can't go with the defense of saying, I'm a record label.
After doing research, it is confirmed that gunna snitching didn't really affect Young Thug too much. However, what it did affect was Atlanta rappers in the area, as what we're currently witnessing is a complete takeover in the rap industry with RICO charges by the Atlanta DA. The Atlanta DA has been offering amazing proffer deals to many YSL snitches, as they have now mentioned Lil Baby's name alongside Young Thug and Gunna's, as the Atlanta DA would reveal that Lil Baby is now next up on the RICO list.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
As Lil Baby would go on to even react to this at a local airport.
How you doing, Lil Baby? Lil Baby. Well, baby, how's Young Thug doing? I know all the circumstances. Just want to see how they're holding up good. Sure. All right. Love what you're doing, man.
With the Atlanta DA cracking down on many Atlanta rappers, Young Thug and his lawyers are now doing something very sneaky behind the scenes. To understand this further, it is now making sense as to why Thug and his lawyers are trying to scrub his name off of the internet. Back on October 27th, Young Thug's Twitter account released a tweet stating Jeffrey had reportedly cut ties with Young Thug. An online lawyer would then release a statement regarding what this exactly means, so follow along closely. Jeffrey Williams plays the role/character of Young Thug. The character Young Thug is technically a brand, it is not a real person. The brand Young Thug is owned by the record label 300 Entertainment and is used for entertainment purposes only. All lyrics used by the character Young Thug relates to no human being, as it's just entertainment for music. So with Young Thug being a character, the actions and views made by him in music lyrics, music videos, and videos online cannot reflect back on the human Jeffrey Williams, as Jeffrey Williams is being paid to play a character online. Jeffrey is a person portraying to be Young Thug on behalf of the company 300 Entertainment. I know it sounds confusing, but that's exactly why Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, is paying millions of dollars for his lawyers. A majority of the evidence against Young Thug is related and tied to the music that he's created, with lyrics dissing ops, explaining crimes, and so on.